Ladies and gentlemen, sane and insane, York Psychiatric Ward will hold its grand reopening on October 25th, 2013 from 8 to 11 p.m. in the library. We will be admitting patients in that time. Treatment is an extraordinary low price of just $5. Don't be late or we will lose our patients.
Anyway, so Fall Fair was really great. Thank you for everybody who came, participated, helped out. Okay. Anyway, and also there's going to be a pumpkin carving competition between all the classes this Friday in the quad at lunch. So yeah, participate. It'll be fun.
Hi all. There are a handful of 10th and 11th graders who had something left to wrap up from last year for your service learning. I know that I've spoken to most of you individually. There are some people I haven't been able to find, so if you can see me today and talk to me about this, Logan, Will Cushing, Raynell, Thomas Perry, Luke Porter, Bill Roberts, Julia Rodriguez, Navid, Lizzie Stanton, Anna Tanda, Daniel Urquidez, and everybody who I've spoken to individually and said, hey, you still haven't done this part. Your name, I'm not going to call your name out because I already talked to you. That needs to be taken care of by the end of today. Wednesday I'll be posting a list of people who will not be allowed to attend the dance on Friday.
And if that announcement made you feel a little anxious, you are not alone. Actually, anxiety and anxiety around tests is a very, very common experience. So if you're somebody who becomes anxious during testing time, you can just look around you and figure there are probably, 200, roughly 30 people who are just like you, who get a little bit anxious around test-taking time. So this is to remind you that if you would like to just learn some techniques for handling that anxiety, for channeling it in a constructive way, then you can join me tomorrow at lunchtime in room 2, I think we'll meet. Room 2 tomorrow, lunchtime. Thanks.
Okay, thanks for everybody who came out to the Fall Fair, and thanks for everybody who volunteered and did all this, so many things to make it work. We did really well. I don't know exactly how well, but we'll be posting those results within a week on the bulletin boards, and you guys can see how much you made for your class, club, or organization. I got to thank some people because I just had to ask for help, and people came forward and helped, and sometimes at the last minute, and that was really cool. But specifically, I got to thank the student council because the Fall Fair is always a direct reflection of how much time and effort they put into it. I mean, that's the primary influence, and those guys did a great job, and it just felt like it ran really smoothly. So thank you guys. Thanks to the Executive Student Council. A bunch of people, faculty and staff, were really key. I want to thank Debbie Alexander, Vicki Norman, and Fauna Oldfield in the business office because they make all these things work, and we never get to see them or thank them as much as we should. Miss Scott Brown, Miss Coley, Mr. Daniel, Miss Godoyne, Miss Newbert, Mark Kirkland for doing a ton of stuff, and along those lines, Tom Sanchez, who really, it really couldn't happen without him. He works overtime when this thing comes around, and I'm so glad he gets a break now. Miss Parsons, thank you. Miss Sanford, Miss Sanico, Miss Sherry, Senior Soto, that was awesome. Ms. Traxel really came through, Mr. Walker, and Ms. Williston, and probably a bunch of others, and a whole bunch of parents. Really, it's such a group effort, and to the students who did all the stuff, you know, fantastic booths this year. And whether or not you made the kind of money that you wanted to make, just feel good about being part of it, because it's one of those kind of signature York events that's, I think, pretty awesome. I kind of made an executive decision as to which booth was outstanding, and I thought there were a lot of them, but one was kind of new and kind of different and kind of exciting, and I walked in there and I felt like I was walking into like Berkeley or something. It was really cool, and that is the Fashion Club, the thrift shop. Those guys did So Emily and company, and of course you got to share this with Miss Godoy, because I have a feeling she did a lot of work too. Meet me outside. Thanks, you guys.
Just a real quick announcement to let you know that visits are starting tomorrow with prospective students. Their visits will be on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday this year. I want to make certain that you guys take a good look around campus every day, keep our campus picked up, because we want to have a good impression for our students. But the most important thing, of course, is to be welcoming, to invite them, to engage with them, and to make them feel comfortable when they're here on campus. We've been working with a small group of students as potential hosts for this year. We've met with you and sent you a variety of communications. We'll be meeting again today, along with all SHIELD students, on the Science Building patio at lunch. So please come over right away. Pizza lunch for those who we've been working with for hosting. We'll probably open up hosting more in January, but we're starting with a small group this year and working with them and helping them to be good hosts. So thanks very much, and say hi to people when they're on campus.
Well, I want to thank and commend the York students that participated in the Physical School Sunday yesterday morning. Did a wonderful job, represented the school very well. So thanks to the chamber choir, to Nick, Tiffany, to Jonathan Vu, Kevin Zanzal Pollock, Jenny Rakuzin, Isabel Sanford, Alex Davies, Grace Sizemore. Is that it? Cassidy, yeah. So thank you all. Wonderful job. And one more thing. It's always nice to congratulate people on accomplishments. I don't know if you know that Eleanor Bennett White is a ballroom dancer, and she was at a competition this weekend and got first place in both her classes.
There I stood, staring for a good long while at this poor lost child. Tears ran down his face as stranger after stranger passed him by. And after thinking to myself and recollecting all the times I've ever been lost, I came to him, and in my friendliest voice, I asked him, "Hey kiddo, you lost? Can I help you in any way?" Obviously asking didn't work. I mean, kids don't usually run away from you when it works. But after convincing him that I wasn't going to eat him, he finally came to his senses, and I started helping him out. I asked him questions like, "Where did you last see your mom?" He went to a billboard that had the entire map of the mall on it and pointed to the opposite side where we were at, where Macy's was. "Macy's? How did you get all the way over here?" I asked him. He said pretty plainly, "Well, I like the Disney store a lot more than the Macy's store." Fair enough. And then I thought to myself, I will take this child on a quest. A quest that will last us across this dangerous mall. I will be filtered with dangerous temptations of free cookies, and continuous trips to the bathroom. But in the end, we would survive. I went to the customer service booth and I asked if we could place a missing child. And not 5 minutes later, the lost child's mother came towards me. Tears running down her eyes to see her lost child safe and sound. And then out of nowhere, she smacked me. And smacked me and smacked me again. Accusing me, threatening me for stealing her child. Stealing her child. She left without a goodbye, without even a thank you. But the look on that child's face, the look of just pure happiness and relief to be safe in his mother's arms again, that was worth the beating. The moral of this story is pretty simple. Do the right thing, even when the repercussions of doing the right thing may not be what you want at all. Because in the end, you made a difference. You changed something. And in the end, that's all that matters. Thank you.
We have 10 seconds. The Robotics Club meeting today at lunch in Mr. Cutis's room. We're going to be discussing Fall Fair and potentially some big news. Right. Oh, and if you're in SHIELD, make sure to check in with the SHIELD people first. And if you're going to spend your time there, check in with us as well. Thank you.
So MUN, tomorrow we're going to be selling churros in the quad. They're only $1 a pop and they're really good. Also, if you guys are going to Smunk, talk to me at the churros stand tomorrow.
And so Hope has its first meeting tomorrow, but today we'd like you to, or for those interested, to come to either Sasha and me, just so we can get a head count today.
Tennis girls on the lineup meet at the Vans at 2:20.
I've lost my flash drive last Thursday, and in the flash drive there's a lot of my art class work in it. If you find it, it's black, Toshiba 8 gigabytes flash drive. So if you find it, please let me know or turn it into the front office. Thanks.
For those of you who are going to Fall State, I'm going to be passing out permission slips over the next couple of days. Please turn them in to me by Wednesday. Thank you.
So first meeting of Game Club is tomorrow in room 3 at lunch.
We're playing apples to apples. Be there. Game on!
And one man was about to tee off, and he looked up and he saw a long funeral procession across the street. So he took off his hat and kneeled down. He took a moment of silence, and as he was standing up, his friend was like, "Wow, you are an amazing person. That was the most incredible display of respect I've ever seen." And the man just looked back at the procession and he said, "Well, we were married 35 years."